The nurse whispered, "He's gone," as I flatlined. I heard it. Not with my ears. My body was already shutting down, but I heard it, clear as a bell, like someone had turned up the volume on that one sound in a world going silent. And then, nothing. No breath, no heartbeat, no thought, just darkness. Complete and total emptiness. I was gone. But in that silence, in that absolute void where time, space, and consciousness had ceased to exist, I heard another voice. Not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. A single word, spoken with such love, such authority, such peace, that it pierced through the nothingness and pulled me back. It was my name, Emily, and I knew, instantly, completely, that it was God. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 34 years old, and I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. If you know the South, you know Asheville, nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, surrounded by forests, rivers, and peaks that touch the clouds. It's a city of contradictions, progressive and deeply religious, artistic and traditional, full of young creatives and old mountain families who've lived here for generations. You've got the Biltmore Estate, the biggest private home in America, with its gardens and wine tastings. You've got the River Arts District, where old factories turned into studios for painters, potters, and glass blowers. You've got hiking trails like the Appalachian Trail running right through the city, and the famous Blue Ridge Parkway winding through the mountains like a ribbon. And you've got churches, so many churches, Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, Pentecostal, non-denominational. Every corner seems to have one. Sunday mornings, the streets fill with people in their best clothes, kids in Sunday school outfits, pastors greeting folks at the doors. I grew up in that world. My parents were devout Baptists. My dad a deacon at First Baptist Church in West Asheville. My mom a Sunday school teacher. We went to church 3 times a week: Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday prayer meeting. I sang in the choir, taught vacation Bible school, even led youth group for a while. I believed, I really did. But somewhere along the way, faith became routine, a checklist. Wake up, get dressed, go to church, sing the songs, say the prayers, go home. It felt empty, like I was going through the motions. I wanted more. I wanted purpose. I wanted to do something that mattered. So I became a nurse. I studied at Western Carolina University, got my BSN, did my clinical rotations at Mission Hospital, the big medical center in downtown Asheville. I loved it. The pace, the pressure, the chance to help people in their most vulnerable moments. I thrived in the ER. Loved the adrenaline, the teamwork, the feeling that every second counted. After graduation, I got hired full-time at Mission, 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week, nights sometimes, weekends often. It was exhausting, but I was young, strong, passionate. I thought I could handle it, but I couldn't. The first time I took Adderall wasn't planned. It was during my first year, after a brutal double shift. I'd worked 24 hours straight. A trauma call came in at the end of my shift, and I stayed to help. By the time I got home, I was so drained I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. My body was crashing. My friend and coworker, Sarah, saw me struggling and offered me half of her Adderall. "It'll take the edge off," she said. "Help you wind down." I took it, and it worked too well. Instead of crashing, I felt normal, calm, focused, like my brain had finally caught up with my body. I slept that night, woke up feeling human. I didn't think much of it, just a one-time thing. But then it happened again. Another double, another crash, another pill. And then I started taking them before shifts, to stay alert, to keep up, to not miss a thing, because in the ER, one mistake can cost a life. At first, it was just one, then two. Then I started crushing them, snorting for a fasty high. Then I moved to stronger stimulants, Dexedrine, Vivance, anything that would keep me sharp, keep me awake, keep me on. I told myself I was different, that I wasn't like the addicts I treated, that I was using it responsibly, that I was a professional, not a junkie. But I was lying. I started stealing. Not much at first. 1 pill here, 2 there, from the narcotic cabinet. I had access. I knew the system. I'd log out a pill for a patient, then not administer it, keep it for myself. Or I'd lose a dose and write it off. My husband, Daniel, noticed something was off. We'd been together since college, married for 8 years. He's a carpenter, builds custom furniture, owns a small shop downtown. He's steady, kind, grounded, the kind of man who fixes things with his hands and his heart. He'd ask me why I was so irritable, why I wasn't sleeping, why I was losing weight. I'd say it was stress, long shifts, hospital politics. He believed me, at first. But then I started missing things. Our anniversary dinner, his mum's birthday. I'd say I was stuck at work, but I was really at home, coming down or out buying more pills. We stopped talking, stopped touching, stopped being a couple. One night, he found a pill bottle in my purse. Not prescribed to me. He confronted me, and I broke down, told him everything. He was devastated, not angry, heartbroken. He said, "You're a nurse, Emily. You save lives. How could you do this to yourself? To us?" He begged me to get help. I promised I would, but I didn't. I kept using. The stealing got worse. I started taking larger quantities. Fentanyl patches, oxycodone, anything I could sell or use. I was in too deep. One night, after a double shift, I took more than I should have. A cocktail, Adderall, Dexedrine, a Xanax to come down. My heart couldn't handle it. I was in the break room about to clock out when it hit me. Chest pain, sharp, crushing, like a vice tightening around my ribs. I tried to call for help, but I couldn't speak. My vision tunneled. I fell to the floor. The next thing I remember is hearing voices, distant, panicked. "Emily, Emily, can you hear me?" It was Sarah, my friend, my enabler. Then I heard the crash cart rolling in, the sound of the defibrillator charging. Clear. Nothing. Starting compressions. 1, 2, 3. More voices, more chaos. Then, after what felt like forever, I heard it. The flatline, that long unbroken tone, and then the nurse, not Sarah, someone else, whispering, "He's gone." And just like that, I was gone. No pain, no fear, no regret, just nothing. But in that nothing, I heard it. Emily, not loud, not booming, just a whisper, but more real than anything I'd ever heard. And I knew. It was God. Not a feeling, not a thought, a voice, clear, loving, certain. And in that moment, I saw my life, not in pictures, not in memories, but in truth. I saw every lie I'd told, every pill I'd stolen, every time I'd looked a patient in the eye while lying to myself, every time I'd broken Danielle's heart, every time I'd sat in church and pretended to worship while my soul was dying. And I felt it, the weight of it all, the shame, the guilt, the waste. But then I felt something else. Grace. Not earned, not deserved, just given. And I heard it again. "Emily, it's not your time." And I was pulled back. I don't know how long I was gone. The doctors said 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Long enough to be clinically dead. Long enough for them to start writing my time of death. But I came back. I woke up in the ICU, intubated, tubes everywhere. Daniel holding my hand, crying. The doctors said it was a miracle. A perfect storm of drugs, stress, and heart strain. But I knew better. I'd heard God, and He wasn't done with me. If you're watching this and you've ever felt broken beyond repair, if you've ever thought you were too far gone for grace, I need you to hear this. You're not. I was a nurse who stole from her patients. I lied to my husband. I betrayed my calling, and God still called my name. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're from. You're not alone. And if this story is speaking to you, hit that subscribe button. What I'm about to share could save your life. Recovery wasn't easy. I was kept in the hospital for 2 weeks. Physical recovery was one thing, heart damage, withdrawal symptoms, fatigue. But the emotional and spiritual healing, that was the real battle. Daniel stayed. He didn't have to. He could have walked away, but he stayed. He said, I married you for better or worse, and I still love you. I entered a faith-based rehab program in Black Mountain, just outside Asheville. It was strict. No phones, no visitors for 60 days. Daily Bible study, group therapy, work therapy. I worked in the garden, learned to be still, learned to pray. I faced my addiction head on, learned that it wasn't just about the pills. It was about control, about perfectionism, about trying to earn love through performance. Just like I did in church, my sponsor, a woman named Martha, who'd been clean for 15 years, said, Emily, you spent your life trying to save people because you thought it would save you, but only God can save you. And she was right. I worked the 12 steps, made amends, apologized to co-workers I'd stolen from, to patients whose care I'd compromised, to Daniel, over and over. It took time. There were relapse scares, nights I wanted to give up, but I kept going. And slowly I rebuilt. I lost my nursing license temporarily. The hospital reported me. I had to go through a recovery program for healthcare professionals, but after a year, I got it back. I didn't return to the ER. Too many triggers. Instead, I started working in outpatient addiction counseling at a clinic in East Asheville, helping people like me, sharing my story. Daniel and I went to marriage counseling. It wasn't easy. Trust had to be rebuilt day by day, but we did it. We're stronger now than we've ever been. We still don't have kids. That door may be closed, but we've found peace in that. We're fostering hope in others. I still go to church, but it's different now. I don't go to check a box. I go because I want to, because I have something to say, not just something to do. I still hear that voice sometimes, not audibly, but in prayer, in quiet moments, when I'm tempted to fall back into old patterns of thinking, that I have to be perfect, that I have to earn my worth. I hear it. Emily, and I remember. I don't have to earn it. It's already mine. You've made it halfway through my story, and I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were too far gone for grace? Like your mistakes were too big, your lies too deep, your heart too broken? I felt that way too. But God called my name in the silence of death, and He can call yours too. Drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. And if this story gave you hope, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Let's build a community of people who believe in second chances, who believe that no one is beyond saving. I still work at the addiction clinic. I speak at churches, at recovery meetings, at hospitals. I tell my story, the good, the bad, the ugly, because someone out there needs to hear it. I see people come in broken, ashamed, hopeless, and I tell them, I was flatlined. I was declared dead. I heard he's gone. And in that silence, God called my name. If he could do it for me, he can do it for you. I don't know why I got another chance. I don't know why God chose that moment, that whisper, that pull back into life. But I know this, I'm not wasting it. Every day I choose recovery. Every day I choose honesty. Every day I choose faith. And every day I thank God that when the world said I was gone, he said, not yet. Before I go, I want to ask you one last time, if this story touched you, if it gave you hope, if it reminded you that miracles are real, leave a comment below and let me know where you're from. Let's build a community of people who believe in second chances, who believe that God can do the impossible, who believe that no one is beyond saving, and hit that subscribe button because I'll keep sharing stories like this, stories of redemption, of transformation, of God's grace, stories that remind us that it's never too late, that there's always hope, that miracles still happen. I'm Emily from Asheville, North Carolina, the nurse who flatlined, the woman who stole from her patients, the wife who broke her husband's heart, the sinner who heard God's voice in the silence of death. And I'm alive because he called my name and I answered. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. And remember, it's never too late. God can reach you in your darkest moment, in your deepest silence, in your final breath. There's always hope. Always. God bless you.